I have read the original novel's audio version. I won't make obviously a full review of it because we already discussed the movie. There is not that much to tell without drawing in repetition, so I will just tell what were the differences. The first thing that struck me is that Amityville is a Christmas story. Was this implemented in the movie? I don't remember it in the 1978 movie, but we should rewatch it. In the films, it is represented as only Mr. Lutz could not warm himself up. Here the others feel the chill too. The story is incomprehensibly badly written. For example, at the end of chapter 6, a policeman shows up to check whether the Lutzes returned to their house, just like he did on the eve of the De Feo murders. Then right after, in chapter 7, Mr. Lutz goes out to check the boathouse. An obsession of him, turns around and sees Jodie the Demon Pig, currently unnamed, and when they run up checking, turns out the pig didn't just stand around like in the film, but was rocking in a rocking chair. It is kind of an anthropomorphic cartoon-esque pig. The next thing to happen is the family realizes they used up too much firewood, so they call the priests. Kind of an idiotic decision. Ronald DeFeo, according to the novel, drugged his family to sleep. Why this little detail never mentioned anywhere else? At least the audiobook says this at 1 hour 55 minutes. The family sees things and mountains levitating, but otherwise there is no paranormal activity here. Unlike in the movies, there is a substantial portion of the book and the real events where the Lutz is called in a bunch of mediums and paranormal investigations, which is cut from the movies. I suspected that the reason is it made the story too close to Poltergeist, but that movie was only made in 1982, so that's a false assumption. But then the chance arises that Spielberg ripped off the Amityville story. Then the paranormal stuff luckily just held up the 1978 movie. I mean, the movie didn't need the paranormal investigating stuff. And Spielberg made the cemetery a simple cemetery, not an Indian burial ground. That whole thing got ripped off by none other than Stephen King in Pet Sematary, which book got written in 1983, 1 year after Poltergeist came out. On the side note, the Amityville Horror novel never states the house is built on an Indian burial ground. In fact, it explicitly says it wasn't. Instead, it was built on a field where the natives brought the elderly and insane to die, then they carried them to the actual cemetery. Yes, this is exactly as convoluted as the first draft of an entirely fictional story. Not that the Native American activity, whatever that was supposed to be, would be an alleged source for the ghost activity, because it is declared to be ghost activity. There are 3 ghosts in the house, and Jodie, the imaginary friend, an old couple who lived but not died in the house, and an unknown person buried under the Red Room. In the later versions of the story, George Lutz is presented as an anti-religious. Here, it's not true at all. The incest angle is also missing, with the exception of a single moment hinting that when 2 of the bigger kids get some weird scar, but really that's it. At 4:54, chapter 23, it's an audiobook, Jodie is somehow an angel, while previously much earlier in the book, it wasn't. Jodie also turns out to be the ghost of a little boy who died in the house from some illness, so not victim of Ronald DeFeo either.